together. Okay. Yeah, now we'll do the thing from the show, the dog. Okay, let's just do it.
This is the moment, this is the day when I send all my doubts and demons on their way. Every endeavor I have made ever is coming into play, is here and now today. This is the moment, this is the time when the momentum and the moment are in rhyme. Give me this moment, this precious chance. I'll gather up my past and make some sense at last. This is the moment when all I've done, all of the dreaming, scheming and screaming become one. This is the day, see it sparkle and shine, when all I've lived for becomes mine. For all these years I faced the world alone, and now the time has come to prove to them I made it on my own. This is the moment, my final test. Destiny beckons, I've never reckoned second best. I won't look down, I must not fall. This is the moment, the sweetest moment of them all. This is the moment, damn all the odds, this day or never, I'll sit forever with the gods. When I look back, I will always recall, moment for moment, this was the moment, the greatest moment of them all.
Chris Sullivan, that was awesome. Are we good? Can you hear me? Okay, that's better. I'm going to talk loud. This is not my thing, but I'm going to talk loud. So this is Chris Sullivan, who performed for us today. Thank you very, very much. And he sings all around the Puget Sound area. And if you want to catch more of him, he has a website, ChristopherRSullivan.com, and he has a calendar you can sign up for. So, again, thank you very much. And, of course, our band. Welcome to the love and the light that's unity of South Sound. My name is Barbara Baumel, and it's my honor to be here today to welcome you to our Sunday morning celebration service. There we go. Oh. We hope that you are not here but by accident, but by divine appointment. Unity provides a positive spiritual path for life. And we teach inspiring practical spirituality, something that you will experience each Sunday in our lesson to enhance your journey of spiritual unfoldment. If you have any questions, concerns, or joys to share, please contact our office or visit our website at www.unityofsouthsound.org. And at this time, we'd also like to invite you to put your cell phone into the silence, which reminds me, I need to do that too. So, airplane mode, there we go. Now we invite you to relax, reconnect, and center in the truth of who we are. Please join me in saying our opening affirmation. There is only one power active in my life and in the universe: God, goodness, omnipotence. Our mission statement: inspired by the divine, as an inclusive spiritual community, we explore and express our highest potential. Our vision statement: present and centered in divine love, we co-create a peaceful and awakened world. And our core values: we are love, joy, abundance, and spirit guided. And now Reverend Megan will lead us in an opening prayer. There you go.
So we light the light to remind us of the light that we are. There we go. And take a moment to remember in this transition of fall, and we're moving into that shift, and we feel it maybe within ourselves as well as around us. We know that there's blessings being offered to us. So let us take a moment to just go within as we breathe in all that is in this moment in time. The wonder and the beauty of the changing colors. And we allow ourselves to be connected to that we call God, the ceaseless, restless, creative energy of life that lives and has its being in and through and as us with every breath we take. And so we're inspired as we align ourselves in the ebb and flow of the changes of life. And as we do that, we hold all beings that are walking this planet into that place of awakening to their true self. We see them honoring and acknowledging each other and in our diversity and the many blessings that we bring to each other. We hold all those that are dear in our hearts that may be going through challenges right now, all of those that are recovering from the hurricanes or those that might be in the path of one now. For we know that everything, the abundance of the universe, the resources are on their way to support each and every one of us as our own divine being knows to heal and transform and allow us to be the best that we came here to be. And in that we are grateful, and so it is. Amen.
We want to take a moment to thank all of you who are joining us here today for the first time, or those of you who are online. Thank you for sharing your consciousness with us and your love with us. If you're here in person, we invite you to pick up one of the welcome packets, which I think we have now shifted into the Wesley. There might be one back here. There's also a guest book at the back of the sanctuary, which we invite you to sign so that we know who you are. And then we just affirm and trust that the people who come to Unity will feel at home here as we engage in getting to know one another, and we hope to see you here again. Wherever you are in your journey of faith, you are welcome here, for we honor and respect the choices that your soul makes on its spiritual journey. Now to all of our newcomers, live streamers, and friends joining us this morning, we want to share this Unity blessing. We love you, we bless you, we appreciate you, and we behold the divinity you are. Now I invite you, if you're able, to stand and join with our song leaders, Stacy Lawrence and David Sandal Hill.
I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I'm supposed to be. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I'm supposed to be. Oh, my soul is welcome here. Oh, my soul is welcome here. I am getting the message loud and clear. My soul is welcome here. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I'm supposed to be. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I'm supposed to be. Oh, my soul is welcome here. Oh, my soul is welcome here. I am getting the message loud and clear. My soul is welcome here. I am getting the message loud and clear. My soul is welcome here.
So So please take a moment to greet one another, maybe someone you have not seen before, and then we'll gather again. If you're not a hugger, get the hand out there quick. It's good energy. Yeah.
Our thoughts are prayers, and we are always praying. Our thoughts are prayers. Listen to what you're saying. Seek a higher consciousness, a state of peacefulness, and know that God is always there. And every thought becomes a prayer. Our thoughts are prayers, the tools that we create with. Our thoughts are prayers that spirit resonates with. Seek a higher consciousness, a state of mindfulness, and know that God is always there. And every thought becomes a prayer. Our thoughts are prayers, and we are always praying. Our thoughts are prayers. Listen to what you're saying. Seek a higher consciousness, a state of peacefulness, and know that God is always there. And every thought becomes a prayer.
Thank you.
I love that song. You all sound lovely. So given our Faith in Action series, I chose a daily word that is on health. It's on healing and wholeness, and I just thought it fit in. So I focus my thoughts on health. When faced with a health challenge, I may be tempted to keep my thinking focused on what may be wrong with my body. But keeping my thoughts and my feelings focused on disease keeps my attention focused on illness, not wellness. I can make a new choice while caring for my body with proper diet, exercise, and nutrition. I focus my attention on those parts of my body that do feel well. From there, I feel gratitude for the healing thoughts that are filling my mind and inspiring me, crowding out all thoughts of illness or dysfunction. I give thanks for what I have. I appreciate. As a spiritual being, I know that wholeness is my divine nature, and I gratefully welcome my healing. Today, I think health-producing thoughts, and I speak words of healing into being. And from Romans 12:2, And be not conformed to this world, but be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind, that ye may prove what is good, acceptable, and perfect will of God.
Thank you, Barbara. That was perfect. So as we prepare for a time of prayer and meditation, I invite you to just to do a one verse round again of our thoughts or prayers to just kind of bring our thoughts into this time of prayer and meditation. Our thoughts are prayers, and we are always praying. Our thoughts are prayers. Listen to what you're saying. Seek a higher consciousness, a state of peacefulness, and know that God is always there. And every thought becomes a prayer. And so we just take a deep breath in and feel that breath of God that is breathing us into this moment as we relax into time of prayer and meditation. And listening to the vibration of our singing bowl as it takes you even deeper. So just as you breathe in with your eyes gently closed, imagine you're breathing from your head into your heart. You're shifting that energy into expanding and feeling and letting the vibration open you up even deeper. I'm breathing in, noticing my breath as I breathe. I feel the gentle flow, noticing how it touches every cell of my being, animates me, allows me to go deeper into the experience of this moment. And as I breathe, I notice my thoughts. But I notice that they are a gentle whisper from my heart, that they are a prayer that is vibrating a desire into beingness. And so I focus on my thoughts intentionally as I allow myself to go deeper and deeper into this moment in time. Gently relaxing my body from head to toe, feeling the wave of your breath just washing peacefulness and serenity over your entire body. I breathe in my next thought, for I know that my thought is a prayer. So what is it saying? What is the underlying desire, intention behind my prayer? I know as I breathe in, I'm seeking a higher consciousness, that state of peacefulness and mindfulness when I am one in harmony and alignment with that presence and power that is active in and through and as me in every moment. And I know in the moment of awareness that I name God, the vibrational energy of all life, the creator, our source, is in the midst of it, in this moment, right here and right now, as I allow every thought to be harmonious in alignment with my divinity. And so in the moment of silence, I listen to the prayers of my heart And then I listen even deeper for the wisdom that comes from within. I breathe in and I breathe out. I surrender into the rhythm and the flow of life. And I bring back into this moment in time through my breath the realization that my thoughts are prayers, that they are meant to be creative, to express and to become. And so I take a deeper commitment to being intentional with my thoughts and my words that come from my prayers. And I am grateful, so very grateful for this moment. Amen.
Try to remember the kind of September when life was slow and oh so mellow. Try to remember the kind of September when grass was green and grain was yellow. Try to remember the kind of September when you were a tender and callow fellow. Try to remember, and if you remember, then follow. Try to remember when life was so tender that no one wept except the willow. Try to remember the kind of September when love was an ember about to billow. Try to remember the kind of September when love was an ember about to billow. Try to remember, and if you remember, then follow. Deep in December, it's nice to remember, although you know the snow will follow. Deep in December, it's nice to remember, without a hurt, the heart is hollow. Deep in December, it's nice to remember the fire of September that made us mellow. Deep in December, our hearts should remember and follow, follow, follow.
Thank you, Chris. What a beautiful classic, and you did it extraordinarily. And it's so appropriate for this time of year. So today, I'm going to pull this book out here. We're going to dive into an empowering message from the 3rd chapter of our fall book study book, this amazing book, This Life is Yours. How many of you are in the book study? Are you enjoying this? It's a great book, isn't it? It's putting it the language that we really need to hear to understand what wholeness is and how we call it forth through us. And so Linda Martellowitz and her daughter Alicia are the authors of that. And the chapter we're looking at today is called The Power of Mind. This chapter invites us to explore the incredible influence of our thoughts and our feelings, and how aligning our mind with higher consciousness can transform our experience of life. Now that sounds wonderful, doesn't it? And yet, there's a how-to in all of that. So let's take a deeper look at the key points in how we can harness the mind's power for healing, abundance, and wholeness. The first point that I drew from this chapter is the power of our thoughts. The foundation of this message is not new. We've talked about it in different ways, and it's always good to come back around to it and explore different aspects of it. But it's very simple. Our thoughts have real power. Our thoughts have real power. And even though we can't see our thoughts, they're energetic forces that shape our reality. So consider what Pema Chodron, who is a Tibetan Buddhist nun and a teacher, wrote in her book, Living Beautifully with Uncertainty and Change. If your mind is expansive and unfettered, you will find yourself in a more accommodating world, a place that endlessly is interesting and alive. That quality isn't inherent in the place, but in your state of mind. Isn't that a wonderful reminder? It's not the world that's inherently good or bad. No, it's our state of mind that defines how we experience it. So it reminds me of a spiritual story by an unknown author about an aging Hindu master who grew tired of his apprentice complaining. And so one morning he sent him out for some salt. And when the apprentice returned, the master instructed the unhappy young man to put a handful of this salt into a glass of water and then to drink it. How does it taste? The master asked. Well, bitter, spit the apprentice. You can imagine. The master chuckled, and then he asked the young man to take another handful of salt and put it in the lake. And the two walked in silence to the nearby lake, and once the apprentice swirled his handful of salt into the water, the old man said, "Now drink from the lake." And as the water dribbled down the young man's chin, the master said, "How does that taste?" "Well, fresh," remarked the apprentice. "Do you taste salt?" And he said, "No." At this, the master sat behind the serious young man, who so reminded him of himself. And he took his hands, offering, "The pain of life is pure salt, no more, no less. And the amount of pain and worry and doubt and fear in life remains exactly the same. However, the amount of bitterness and anger and fear that we taste depends on the container that we put the pain in. So when you're in pain, the only thing you can do is enlarge your sense of things. Stop being a glass, become a lake." So our minds are like radio towers that are constantly broadcasting our thoughts over time, and eventually they become our beliefs. The authors say beliefs are simply thoughts we keep thinking, the constant things. If we grew up hearing, for instance, money doesn't grow on trees or there's never enough, what do you think your belief system would be based on? Those thoughts shape our beliefs about scarcity. But here's the good news. We can become more like a lake as we enlarge the boundaries of our thought consciousness to allow it to be filtered and to bring in that greater wisdom and understanding from within to consider something new, to shift our underlying beliefs and to transform our pain and our bitterness from whatever the source might be. I can't share that teaching enough. It is so foundational in how we co-create our life. And so an action step that we can begin to shift our thoughts is to start paying attention to your reoccurring thoughts, the ones that you really grasp hold of. What stories are you telling yourself? Are they rooted in fear and worry or anxiety and doubt? Or do they reflect abundance, health, and possibility? And when you catch yourself in a negative thought pattern, then just pause and replace it with an affirming thought, something that you do want to generate, experience, or manifest. This is one of our foundational spiritual practices. Acknowledge the abundance already present in your life, like the flow of the water from a tap, or those endless breaths entering and leaving our body. It shifts our thoughts to what we choose to live from, to be with. So the second point from this lesson is the influence of feelings. Like thoughts, feelings are impactful, yet fleeting. They rise, they pass through us, and sometimes they return. Yet we often confuse feelings with truth. But feelings are simply indicators, not directors. They tell us where we need attention, but they don't dictate our actions. We have a choice in that. Thich Nhat Hanh, another Buddhist teacher and author, reminds us, feelings come and go like clouds in a windy sky. Have you watched how it shifts and changes? We can see what's happening before our very eyes, and we're amazed at that continual shift and change and what it forms. Poet Khalil Gibran also addressed the influence of feelings when he said, the feelings we live through in love and in loneliness are simply for us what high tide and low tide are to the sea, referring to how feelings can be unreliable like chameleons as they shift and change, shifting based on our circumstances or even our physical state. One moment we're happy, the next moment we're angry without logical reason. We're shifting like the tides of a Gibran suggestion. But take note, these feelings are indicators, not permanent truths of who we are. For the true you exists beyond your conditions or your circumstances. So an action step that we can engage in to consider our feelings is to notice when a strong emotion arises, and then practice the art of witnessing it without judgment. Become an observer, to just notice it without any attachment. Instead of reacting from a place of anger, fear, sadness, you pause and you ask, what is this feeling trying to show me or tell me? The simple act of observation gives you the power to choose your response rather than reacting impulsively. Now, you might be noticing I have a new accessory today. I was trying to be more like E.T., you know, it's like have a pointer finger. No, really, it's a rather embarrassing story, but it kind of fits what we're talking about. And so it's about choosing actions, noticing what the thoughts we have. So yesterday I decided I was going to do some baking, and I was using an emulsion blender to blend up some stuff, and some food kind of got stuck in it. So I'm holding it and I stick my finger in to kind of push it out, and I forgot that when you squeeze it, it turns it on. So it went on the end of my finger, and I got to spend some time in emergency yesterday, and I now have some stitches in my finger. I will live. But I noticed a lot of feelings going on in that experience, and the first one was, oh, S-I-T. What was I thinking? You know that was not a smart move. And so I immediately called Michael and said, can you come take me to emergency? And so, what I noticed also through my feelings is that I had to shift them to forgiveness. You know, we all do things without really thinking through it. And that if I could have been a little more intentional in the moment, I would have had a different choice, like grabbing a wooden spoon and using that handle to push it through. And so I also was grateful that it wasn't worse. It didn't chop off the end of my finger. I just needed stitches in about 3 different places. And though it wasn't comfortable, I will live. It will heal. My body knows how to do that. And so I remained open then to the healing process and learn from that and move forward. And so there's a whole process that goes on in our mind and how we support ourselves in the moment of a circumstance, no matter what it is. And so moving to our third point from this teaching, the power of the mind. In this chapter, the authors emphasize a profound truth. We are all interconnected through one mind. Whether we call it God, divine intelligence, or universal consciousness, the shared mind is the source of wholeness, abundance, and harmony. All things we desire that align with the truth from within us that we can manifest and align with the harmony that we desire in the life. So when we align our thinking with this higher intelligence, the wisdom within us, we tap into infinite potential that's inherently within everyone all the time. And the authors tell us your mind is an individualization of one mind, which is universal, shared intelligence. We all tap into the collective one mind, and we draw what's useful or what gets our attention for each of us individually. So this means that we are never isolated, no matter how disconnected we might feel in any given moment. We're always a part of a larger divine intelligence, and we can draw upon that connection for guidance, healing, and support. What's holding us back? What's an action step then that we can take to shift back to the connection of divine mind? In moments of uncertainty or struggle, shift your attention from your personal worries to a sense of oneness with the universal mind. You go back to the core of who we are. We practice this by using a simple mantra or prayer. I am one with the infinite intelligence of the universe. I am one with the infinite intelligence of the universe. And I allow that sense of connection to inform my next step and to bring peace into my heart and feel confident in my action. I breathe it in. Intentionally choose to live from that reality. Our fourth point from chapter 3 is healing through the mind. The authors make it clear healing begins in the mind. It always begins in the mind. When we heal our thoughts, we heal our experience. Our circumstances may not always change immediately, but our relationship to them can transform. And that's the catalyst for the realization and the manifestation in the outer. Charles Fillmore, one of the co-founders of the Unity Movement, wrote about this in his book, Prosperity. Cultivate the habit of thinking about abundance everywhere present. And I add all the time, because abundance is equal to the quality of our existence, of our relationships, of our health and wholeness, of how we interact in the world, how we express ourselves. So Fillmore teaches us, look beyond lack and limitation to focus on the spiritual reality of abundance and health and wholeness that exists all around us, in and through and as us all the time. And when we shift our focus, we stop being victims of our circumstances and we start being co-creators of our reality. This is an important part of healing to align with wholeness. It is what Carolyn Myss wrote in her book, Defy Gravity. You cannot ask your mind to be other than what it is, a reason-seeking instrument. Don't we all just kind of try to find a reason for something, to justify it, and we go through all kinds of stuff instead of taking that first pause and going back within? She said, you must defy your mind and rise above it, or align with higher consciousness. So we must intentionally align with our divine mind to realize wholeness and to hear that inner voice, that wisdom that is speaking to us and guiding our way. We can't hear it if we're talking or we're connecting with the noise outside of us. So an action step to take this practice into teaching is to make it a daily practice to affirm the abundance and healing that exists in your life, even if it's not visible yet. Say to yourself, I am whole, abundant, and healed. Simple as that. I am whole, abundant, and healed, and live from that. Visualize your life reflecting this truth and hold on to that vision, allowing it to shape your reality. Not only to see your wholeness, but to feel it into being, into manifestation in this reality. And our final point from this chapter is the concept of pivoting to spirit. See how it's kind of building, and it's like we're taking it to another level. And the authors teach us of the importance of pivoting from our human thoughts to our spiritual nature. That's the same teaching that we teach that our soul is pivotal. And so we have the choice to choose from the outside, the physical reality or others, or we can turn within. And we do it intentionally when we notice in a moment of awareness. Because our human mind can get really stuck in worry, fear, and doubt, right? We're pretty good at that. But when we pivot our awareness to the higher mind, the divine intelligence, we see beyond limitations. Emmett Fox, New Thought spiritual teacher and author, called this the golden key. The golden key to realizing our wholeness. When we focus on our true self, the God self within, the impossible becomes possible. Have you experienced that? I think you have, whether you really realized it or not. When a shift is thinking and it generates a new feeling, we consider new guidance that transforms our experience. Because thinking is aligned with emotion and energy. So that's what we're shifting, the energy that has power connected to our mind. And an epiphany can happen. It's the process of seeing with new eyes and the renewing of our minds. Reminds me of when I was in, late 30s, early 40s, I had an epiphany in my relationship with my mother. And I was close to contemplating my coursework to becoming a licensed teacher at that time with Unity, and practicing awareness more intentionally in my daily reality. And my mother, I've shared before, had a narcissistic personality, and so our relationship was a little volatile. And it's interesting that I just realized that today is the 3rd anniversary of her passing. And so maybe that's why she came to mind. But in truth, she really was one of my greatest teachers. And so one day I had a phone call from my mom, and she was offering her regular guidance as to how to manage a challenging situation in my life. And she had this way of presenting her wisdom as the only option to be considered if I really wanted the best outcome to happen. And because she was the authority of all best practices. And so I always had this little bit of back feeling like I was being manipulated somehow. And so I listened to her advice, and then I said as lovingly as I possibly could, to both honor her and empower myself, "Thank you, Mom. I will consider that as I discern what works best for me. As things that work best for you may not work as well for me, because remember, I'm a little more introverted than you are." And she responded with, "Well, if you're not going to listen to me, why did you call?" I didn't remind her that she's the one that called me, but I took a deep breath and I said, "Mom, I did listen to your suggestion. I did hear you, and I appreciate your advice. But listening and doing are not the same thing. And so I must decide what action is authentic to me, but it really does help for me to hear your perspective." With that, she hung up on me and didn't talk to me for 2 weeks because I didn't listen. I recalled as I sat with that conversation that I realized that I had taken a powerful step in my personal empowerment to realize listening and doing are not the same thing. And that I was not obligated to do what anyone suggests if it didn't resonate with me. But I could appreciate their advice. It might help me discern my best action. And so listening to my heart and my inner voice was the most powerful action that I could take for myself. And it was really hard to stand in my own power, to face strong energy. You may have found yourself like that. And it's transformational, though, when we do. And so it was my mom's journey, I think, to consider whatever I said that might have triggered her, for her to consider, to align with her higher self, to honor the fact that she felt rejected, because in her mind, I hadn't listened to her. I was able to allow forgiveness to shift my energy around feeling manipulated and offer her grace in allowing her own thoughts and feelings. And eventually we were able to talk about it, and I let her know I understand that she might have felt rejected, but I was taking a stand to be authentic to myself, and we were able to kind of work through it. She didn't stop giving advice or telling me I needed to listen to her, but again, it was a teaching experience for me. And so an action step that we can take to exercise this spiritual teaching is when you catch yourself in a loop of worry or fear or overwhelm, doubt, you'll know it when you're in it, trust me. Practice pivoting. Pause, take a deep breath. Shift your awareness to your spiritual self. Ask, what does my higher self see in this situation? What is it seeing beyond what I think it is? The simple shift in perspective can bring clarity, creativity, which is always a spiritual energy, and a sense of peace. So let's practice that just for a moment real quick. Think of something, close your eyes, think about something that you worry about or you're fearful around, something that has come up recently. And take a deep breath and breathe it into your heart space. To just shift then from noticing what it is or what you're feeling, whatever that fear or worry might be, and to shift your awareness to your spiritual self. Disengage from the feeling and shift to your spiritual self, your divine self within your heart space. And ask this question: what does my divine higher self see in this situation? What is beyond the appearances? And be open to receiving inner wisdom. Allow clarity, creativity, and a sense of peace to open the way. And just notice what you feel as you shift perspective. Breathe it in and feel gratitude. That's it. You can do it at any time, whether you're alone or not. And so you open your eyes and realize you have a power of choosing a thought that aligns with what you want to experience. So in summary of today's lesson, your mind is a powerful tool for transformation. Accept the power. Your thoughts shape your beliefs, and your beliefs shape your reality. So live from that awareness. For when we harness the power of the mind and we align it with that awareness, we harness the power of our mind to be with universal intelligence. We're opening ourselves to healing, to abundance, and to wholeness. And remember that we are not separate from the divine mind, ever. You are part of it, always. And so that's why you can so easily go back to reconnect in a moment of awareness. So as you go through your week, practice observing your thoughts, your feelings, and pivoting toward your higher self, affirming the abundance and wholeness that is your divine birthright. And then notice what you receive and choose your next action step. So let's close today's lesson by affirming this week's affirmation. And don't forget to pick up your card to add to your poster in Fireside Room where all the cool stuff is. You don't want to miss that room. So together, let's say, my mind is a powerful tool, and I choose thoughts that uplift and support my highest good. Let's say it again. My mind is a powerful tool, and I choose thoughts that uplift and support my highest good. Next week, we take it to another step in Chapter 4, Draw Upon Your Inner Resources. But have an empowering week as you pivot into awareness. Namaste.
Oh, yeah. Back to center. Okay, so now this is the time where we would like to invite our usherers forward, to prepare for our love offering, and Chris Sullivan to prepare for his next song. This is the time in our service where we have the opportunity to share from our financial blessings in this community and beyond, because we tithe our gifts. So this is in demonstration of the prosperity law of giving and receiving. There are many ways to do so. On our website, you can click on the donate button to discover the many ways that you can securely give. We encourage you to consider setting up a consistent intentional giving as a monthly or weekly automatic gift so it will never be missed. And if you have any questions, contact our office. If you intend to give here in person this morning, there are offering envelopes on the back of the pews for your convenience, and you can drop your gift in that as it's passed down your row. If you have signed up to send a recurring gift, there are green cards also on the holders in the back, on the seat in front of you. And you can put that in the offering plate as a reminder of the gift that you're giving so that we're consciously blessing that. However you do this, we ask you now to hold these gifts in your hearts or in your hands and affirm this together. Divine love through me blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. I am in perfect balance and flow with the universal tides of giving and receiving, and we are truly blessed. Amen.
To dream the impossible dream, to fight the unbeatable foe, to bear with unbearable sorrow, to run where the brave dare not go, to right the unrightable wrong, to love pure and chaste from afar, to try when your arms are too weary, to reach the unreachable star. This is my quest, to follow that star, no matter how hopeless, no matter how far, to fight for the right without question or pause, to be willing to march into hell for a heavenly cause. And I know if I'll only be true to this glorious quest, that my heart will lie peaceful and calm till I'm laid to my rest. And the world will be better for this, that one man, scorned and covered with scars, still strove with his last ounce of courage to reach the unreachable star.
Oh, yeah. That's wonderful. Thank you all. Yeah. Okay, we got some announcements today. We have lots coming up this fall, so you can always take note on our website if you want to stay updated. You can subscribe to our weekly e-news delivered straight to your inbox every Thursday. Signing up's easy on our website, unityofsouthsound.org. Scroll to the bottom of any page and click on the orange button. That way you won't miss out. This is Prayer Chaplain Sunday, and David Sandal Hill is our chaplain at the back of the sanctuary, so he's waving at you. If you have a prayer on your heart, please visit the vestibule off to the side here after the service. If the door is closed, please wait so the prayer chaplain will open it after they're done with the prayer to protect the privacy of those praying. Also, we request that you wear a mask in the vestibule, and one will be provided. So we have a LGBTQIA spiritual support group, and this will be meeting today every third Sunday of the month from 1 to 2:30 in the fireside room, which is right here. Anyone who's a member of the LGBTQIA community is welcome to come share your stories and spiritual experiences and be part of something special as we create a vibrant, affirming, inclusive, and spiritually enriching community. Our group offers a safe and loving space for participants to support one another and celebrate a shared journey through life. So anyone you might know who might enjoy being part of this community is also welcome. Faith in Action. As part of our Faith in Action series, we will be celebrating the fall colors each week. This is mustard. This is about as close as I could come. Next week is forest green. So we invite you to wear forest green in fun ways as we celebrate with the vibration of forest green. Also, and Megan mentioned this, but in the fireside room, there are the affirmation cards, the yellow affirmation cards, so you can take those home for your poster. And we have posters if you don't have one of those yet. So, silent auctions. Today is the last day to accept donations for the You Among the Stars silent auction gala happening next Saturday, October 26th. We've had some new items received this week, adding to the wonderful variety of things to bid on. Many dog and pet care items, gift certificates for health and well-being services, something for everyone. So see our Faith in Action table today for forms and information. Next week, You Among the Stars. Shine as the star that you are. We're excited for you to join us next Saturday, October 26th, from 5 to 8 p.m. for a delightful evening of celebration, connection, and contribution, featuring a kebab-themed dinner, buffet, dancing, and our fun online silent auction to help us bridge the gap to prosperity. Some of our action items include Seahawk tickets, relaxing massages, seasons to Wild Waves, or season pass to Wild Waves, which includes a free pass to the Fright Fest and much, much more. Tickets are $40 per person or $75 per couple, available now online or at our Faith in Action table after today's service. Access our website for those of you who are online or go to our e-blast this week. I invite friends and family to put on their party attire to participate in our fun. We have a limit of 100 tickets available, so please get yours today for this important event for Unity of South Sound. And Jennifer appreciates you not waiting so she can plan the menu, or how much, and all that. So Trunk or Treat, that's coming up too. Our Youth for Unity team is sponsoring our annual Halloween Trunk or Treat event happening on Halloween night this Thursday, October 31st from 6 to 8 p.m. in our Spire parking lot. This event is a safe and festive way for children and families to enjoy Halloween. We are especially seeking those who would love to decorate your car and fill it with candy and treats to pass out Thursday night. We have room for 7 more cars. Sign up today at the information table in the fireside room off, again in Wesley Hall, or online to make this a successful event. This is a fantastic opportunity for us to connect with our local community. Costumes are encouraged, of course, to add to the fun. Bring your kids, grandkids, and join us in making this an event, a memorable Halloween experience for everyone. And finally, mark your calendar for a meditative painting art workshop on Sunday, November 3rd from 12 noon to 1:30. a meditative creative painting session connected with your creative expression, to connect with your creative expression and process within. All supplies, including canvas, paints, and brushes, will be supplied. A supply fee of $5 is required at the time of registration. A love offering will be accepted to benefit Unity of South Sound as you experience a delightful hour and a half immersed in your own creative, divine flow. Sign up at our Faith in Action table today or watch for links in our e-blast. And now let's welcome in our children. Let's bless these God lights. We love you, we bless you, we appreciate you, and we behold the divinity you are.
And before we go to closing, I want to thank the brave YOUer just with us. And we know that our kids come and go and they're elsewhere today, but we are calling them forth. But I also just want to bring it to attention. I'm grateful for all the things we are creating here, the wonderful events and workshops and things to enhance your life. And so I encourage you to notice and participate, especially for our gala that's coming up this Saturday. There's been a lot of energy put into making it a fun experience, and it's a perfect time to bring friends and family. Would really like to fill this space up. It's also about helping to expand the resources that will bring abundance into this ministry to support us moving forward. So it seems like it just came up fast and furious, and it's already next Saturday. So if you want, you could buy a whole table of 8 to 10 people and fill it up with your friends and family. So let us know if you want to do that. I just wanted to plant a seed. Thank you.
Yeah. So I'm going to invite you into Wesley Hall before we do our prayer of protection and peace song for some connection and food immediately after our service ends. And don't forget to check out the tables, of course. Mm-hmm. So now let's stand and hold your hands high as we affirm our prayer of protection and then go into the peace song, sending peace out into the entire world.
Together, the light of God surrounds us. I am the light. The love of God enfolds us. I am the love. The power of God protects us. I am the power. The presence of God watches over us. I am the presence. Wherever I am, God is. Wherever God is, I am.
And all is well. Amen. Thank you for joining us today. See you next week. Maybe
Bless
sooner.
you.
Right?
Yes.
Yes. Oh, yeah. Like me.